Welcome to Dave's Cards and Sports Games. I'm Dave. We're having some audio difficulty lately, so we're going to try to do a video again, and this will be the third time I've tried it, so let's hope it works. Earlier tonight I was bowling, and I actually twisted my ankle bowling, and it hurt really bad the second game, and I didn't want to break my leg bowling, so I actually left after 2 games, and hopefully I will be fine from here on out and give me 6 days to rest. I will actually ice it down here in a little bit, but I was going to do a baseball video tonight, but I decided let's change it up and let's do a hockey video. So let's check it out. This here, just so you know, is the 1986-87 hockey set. And hopefully everything works out well and we can check it out. I don't see anything on my live screen, so hopefully this works out. And here we go. All the cards are in pretty good shape. They're a little ding on Ray Bourque, but this here is the 86-87 O-Pee-Chee hockey set. O-Pee-Chee is the Canadian Tops. And these cards here will have more cards in the top set. And they'll also be in English and French. There's Wayne Gretzky, card number 3. Look at the first 3. Bourque, LaFontaine, and Gretzky. And kind of, Gretzky did not get a 0-0. That doesn't make sense. If most of you know how Topps works, the best players end up with 0-0. Gretzky gets 3. This is amazing. Look at that. 1,337 points. And he basically had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 seasons in the NHL. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 seasons in the NHL. And he had 1,300. That's mind-boggling. Boy, was he good. Lindy Ruff, Brad McCrimmon, Dave Tiger Williams. A lot of penalty minutes there. 3,500 penalty minutes. I thought Gretzky had a lot of points. Look at the penalties Dave the Tiger had. There's Dennis Savard, called the Mouse. Lanny McDonald with the best stash in hockey history. John Van Beesbrook, USA Hall of Famer. Greg Adams. Stevie Y, Steve Yzerman. There's his third-year card. Craig Hartsburg, best defenseman in North Star history. John Anderson, Bob Bourne. Gel Dahlin from Sweden. Dave Andrechuk. Rob Ramage, Ron Greshner, Bruce Driver, Peter Stastny, Hall of Famer, Dave Christian, U.S. Hall of Famer, legend in the, known for Christian hockey sticks, also from Warroad, Minnesota. Miracle on Ice, Doug Keane, Scott Bukestad, first Minnesota-born player with 40 goals in a season. And his boy Nick still plays in the NHL. I can't remember. I think he plays on Team Utah. Doug Bodger, Troy Murray, Al Iafrate. He had a hard slap shot. Kelly Rudy, great hockey announcer. Doug Jarvis, Rich Sutter. I think it's Rich Sutter. No, the Sutter brothers. Rich Sutter. Marcel Dionne, Kurt Frazier, Doug Lidster wearing the cool Canuck jersey. Brian McClellan had a couple of decent years with the North Stars. And by the way, they didn't put the abbreviation. It's not North Stars. It's North Stars. Barry Pedersen, Craig Laughlin. Ilka Sinisalo, John McClain. I think is that Die Hard? Brian Mullen, Dwayne Sutter. There were so many Sutter brothers. It was crazy. There was probably 5 of them, if I'm not mistaken. Chris Kachaki, Gordy Roberts. Ron Francis, Joey Mullen. Was also one of the first American stars from New York. Mo Mantha, when he played for the North Stars, they'd go, hey Mo, hey Mo, hey Mo, hey Mo. You want a nyuk, 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 nyuk from the Curly Shuffle. There's Pat Verbeek. Clint Malarchuk. Boy, he's the one that had the skate over his throat, and happy he's alive. Bob Bourque played a little bit with the North Stars too. There's Daryl Sutter. Stan Smeal. Called him the Steamer. Greg Stefan. And then we have Grant Fear, Hall of Famer. The first African-Canadian Hall of Fame goalie. Mark Hunter, one of the Hunter brothers, also all known for fighting. Dana Merzen. Mike Gartner, one of the fastest guys in NHL history. 600 goal scorer. Dennis Marouk, a very powerful goal scorer. He scored 60 goals. No, he did not. He scored 50. Where is it? I thought he scored 60 goals to the Capitals. One of the first players in NHL history to get 60 goals. He ended up with a bad squad. Rich Preston played for the Blackhawks. Larry Robinson, Hall of Famer. Dave Taylor, Hall of Famer. Bob Murray, Kenny Morrow, U.S. Olympian on the Miracle on Ice team. Mike Ridley. John Tucker. Miroslav Fricher. Danny Gare. Randy Burridge. Dave Poulin. Brian Sutter. Dave Babich. Dale Hawerchuck. Boy, was he good. He fun to watch. Brian Bellows, #1 pick for the Minnesota North Stars. Dave Passon, Pete Peters, Thomas Janssen, Gilbert Perreault, Glenn Anderson, Hall of Famer, Don Maloney, Eddie Olszczuk, one of his first cards, Mike Bullard, Tom Fergus, Dave Lewis, Brian Propp, did the little thing with his hand. Can't remember what the name of it offhand. John Ogrodnik, Kevin Dineen, Donnie Beaupre, Mike Bossy, fantastic player. Fortunately, he passed away way too young. Tom Barrasso, Hall of Famer. USA Hall of Famer and the NHL Hall of Famer as well. That's the first stack. Let's get to stack number 2. Michel Goulet has to be a Hall of Famer. Dougie Gilmore, I don't think he's in the Hall of Fame, but should be. Kirk Mueller, Larry Melnick, Bob Gainey, Hall of Famer, one of the best defensive forwards in NHL history. Steve Casper, Peter Kleeman, Neil Broughton, USA legend. I believe he won the NCAA tournament, the Olympics, and the Stanley Cup, but did not win the Minnesota State hockey tournament. Al Secord, what a goon he was. North Stars hated him. Butsy Erickson from Roseau, Minnesota. Great player for the Gophers. Reggie Lemelin, Sylvain Turgeon, Bob Nystrom, great player for the Islanders. Bernie Federico, Hall of Famer, great player for the Blues. Doug Wilson, also a fantastic player. I don't know if he's in the Hall of Fame or not. Should be. Alan Howarth. Yari Kurri. Tonight, Connor McDavid just passed up his scoring record, or one of the, to pass the Oilers' all-time leading scorer list. But Yari Kurri, 644 points in 441 games. Ron Sutter. There's 5 Sutters we've announced. Reed Larson, U.S. Hockey Hall of Famer. What a cannon of a shot he had from the Gophers. 191 goals as from the defensive spot in 10 years. Terry Ruskowski had the nice stash. Mark Johnson. James Patrick. Paul McLean. Mike Ramsey. Miracle on Ice. Kelly Kissio, Brent Sutter, Joel Quenneville, Kurt Giles, Tony Tanti, Doug Sullivan. There's a nice Mario Lemieux card. Second-year Lemieux, already 240 points in the NHL. Look at that. He had 1 point in 61 consecutive games at Laval in the minor. He had an unbelievable, I think he had 300 points in the minor leagues. Mark Howe, Bob Suave, Anton Stastny of the Stastny brothers. It was Anton, Marion, and Peter. There's Scott Stevens, one of the best players, one of the best defensemen in the NHL for many years, Hall of Famer. Mike Foligno. Rayo Ruotsalainen. Dennis Potvin, Hall of Famer. Keith Crowder. Bob Janicek. John Tonelli, great defensive forward. Mike Liut, more known for his Blues time. Tim Kerr. One year, I think he had 20-some power play goals. 4 goals in a period, too. Al Jensen, Mel Bridgman, Paul Coffey, legend, Hall of Famer. Bam. Another Hall of Famer right after him, Dino Ciccarelli. Bam. And Steve Lorimer might even be in the Hall of Fame. Mike O'Connell is not in the Hall of Fame. Clark Gillies. Bill Russell. Dirk Graham. Randy Carlyle, great defenseman. Charlie Simmer might be in the Hall of Fame when he played most of his career with the Kings. Ron Flockhart. Tom Laidlaw. Dave Tippett. Wendell Clark. Loved in Toronto. Bobby Carpenter. First round pick for the USA, or from the USA for the Capitals. Don't think he was taken number 1 overall, though. Bill Watson. There's Roberto Romano. He played for Team USA in 1994 Olympics. Once again, I'm wrong. I think he played for Team Canada in that Olympics. Doug Shedeen. How do I think Roberto Romano? I'm thinking of somebody else. Doug Shedeen. Phil Housley. Went right from high school to the pros. Hall of Famer. Brian Trottier, Hall of Famer. Patrick Sundstrom. Rick Middleton. He has to be in the Hall of Fame. Glenn Chico Resch, not in the Hall of Fame, but a long-time announcer, I believe, for the Devils. One of the New York teams. Bernie Pumpernickels, Hall of Famer. Ray Ferraro, Matt Snaslin. He should be in the Hall of Fame if he might be in the Hall of Fame. Pat Flatley. He played on... He was with LaFontaine, worked out for a great tandem. Rod Langway, Hall of Famer for the Caps. Murray Craven, Paul Gillis. Bourque Salming, Hall of Famer. Perry Turnbull. There's Chris Chelios. Second-year card, probably. Hall of Famer. Keith Acton, Al McGinnis, Hall of Famer. Russ Courtnall, great player, good speed. Brad Marsh, Guy Carbonneau. Ray Neufeld, Craig McTavish, Rick Lanz, Murray Bannerman. North Stars hated him. Brent Ashton, Jim Poplinski, Mark Napier, Laurie Boschman, Larry Murphy. He was a good defenseman, or good defenseman. Hall of Famer Mark Messier. Risto Siltanen, Bobby Smith, over 1,000 points. Don't know if he's in the Hall of Fame or not, Bobby Smith. I can't remember if he is or not. Gary Suter, Peter Zezel, also a great soccer player. Rick Vive, Dale Hunter, one of the Hunter brothers, and he had all the penalties. And Mike Krushelninski. Last stat, we'll split it in half. Scott Arniel, Larry Playfair, and he, of course, did not play fair. 200 penalty minutes a couple of times. Dougie Riseborough. Kevin Lowe, Hall of Famer. Chris Nyland, not a Hall of Famer, but sure fought a lot. Look at that. 2 years of 300 penalty minutes in a row. Wow, and he had a 20-goal season as a goon. Paul Sear. Rick Sealing. Doug Smith, Jamie McCowan, Dan Quinn. Funny, he didn't do anything, and then all of a sudden 1 year he was teamed up with Mario Lemieux, and he had a monster season. Paul Reinhart, Keith Brown, Jack O'Callahan, Team USA, Miracle on Ice. Steve Richmond, Warren Young, Lee Fogelin. I got to check that. I think he's Jack O'Callahan was on the Olympic team. Not for sure. If you know that for sure, let me know. There's Andy Moog. Torrey Robinson, Wayne Babbage, Jimmy Fox. He was an announcer for the Kings for many years. Don't know if he's still their announcer. Phil Sykes, Jay Wells. He was a fighter too. Dave Langevin. Local boy. Steve Payne scored a huge goal for the North Stars to get them to the Stanley Cup semis one year. Craig Ludwig. He's from close by too. He's from Rhinelander, Wisconsin. Mike McPhee. Steve Penny. Mario Tremblay. Ryan Walter. Alain Chevrier. Willie Heimer. Tim Higgins. Billy Smith, Hall of Famer. Richard Crom. Thomas Sandstrom. Jim Johnson, another Minnesota boy. New Hope. Willie Lindstrom. Alain Cote. Gilbert Delorme. Mario Goslin. And we get to the last stack. David Shaw, David Barr, Eddie Beers, Charlie Bourgeois, Rick Wamsley, Dan Doust, Brad Maxwell, after he was traded to the Canucks. Was also a decent fighter for the North Stars. Had a nice slap shot. Gary Nyland, Greg Terrion, Steve Thomas, Richard Brodeur, Joel Otto from Elk River, Minnesota. Boy, that guy, he was from Elk River. He went to Elk River High School, born in St. Cloud. And look at that. Was a finalist for Hobie Baker Award for Bemidji State. Very nice. The guy was a great face-off man. Played for Team USA in the Canada Cup when they beat Canada. Doug Hallward, Mo LeMay, Cam Neely, legend Hall of Famer for the Bruins. Brent Peterson, Petri Skriko, Greg Adams, Bill Derlego, Brian Hayward, Doug Smale, and we get to the leader cards here. Thomas Steen, goal leader, Jari Kurri, assist leader, Wayne Gretzky, scoring leader, Wayne Gretzky, Tim Kerr. Hey, we talked about that, most power play goals. 34 power play goals. That's incredible. I mean, look at this. Gretzky, this is the list where Gretzky's not even on. That's amazing. And then you look at the scoring leader. Gretzky had 215 points. Next in line was 74 points back, and that was Mario Lemieux. Look at this list. Hall of Famer, 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 Hall of Famer. Broughton should be in the Hall of Fame. Mats Naslund could be in the Hall of Fame. I don't even know if he is. That is a monster list. Rookie scoring leaders. Let's see if any of these made the Hall of Fame. Gary Suter might have. There's Joel Otto we talked about. Not as big of a list. Goalies, goals against average, Bob Froese, and also the save percentage leader with the same pitcher, Bob Froese. Look at the save percentages back then. Only two guys over 90%. Goals against average, Bob Froese dominated that year. Good goalies on that list. And a card everybody needs to see. There's the Patrick Waugh. Rookie card of Patrick Waugh. In fantastic shape. So this here, everybody, you just had a chance to see the 1986-87 O-Pee-Chee set. Hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. We must pull out Wayne Gretzky before I sleeve him up. Wayne Gretzky. By the way, the first three cards are phenomenal. Ray Bourque, Pat LaFontaine, and Wayne Gretzky. Hope you're having a great day. This is Dave from Dave's Cards and Sports Games. We'll talk to you soon.